So the EA earnings call has happened, and earnings calls normally sort of give you an insight. It's more of for the investor side of things, but it normally gives you an insight. They normally tell their investors anyway, what on earth they've been doing. What new games have they been coming? What have they been, doing to, make money, of course, and what have they been doing in the space of their business? Have they been, how profitable have they been doing, and all this stuff. And obviously, they mention some of the games they've got upcoming and what on earth they're about and stuff like that. And well, normally this is where most people look into and be like, oh, they're revealing that game, because they sort of give you an insight of up and coming games that are coming out. And well, Battlefield, it looks like, is one of them games they've done. Now, I'm kind of scared about this one because, well, we all know how Battlefield 2042 turned out. Yes, it turned out to be an absolute joke. And, well, I'll get into that after this. But this is what they said. This is what the EA CEO, I think it's Andrew Wilson. I think that, I don't know if it's the same guy. I think he's worked there for a long time. A lot of people don't really like him. I mean, then again, a lot of people don't really like EA. I think it's the worst company in America. Which, again, doesn't really surprise me because holy shit, they pissed off a lot of people over the years. Whether that's with Battlefield, FIFA, fucking Star Wars Battlefront, you name it, they've pissed off pretty much everyone. Now, this is what they've said. The EA CEO on the next Battlefield. Building a Battlefield universe across connected multiplayer and single-player experiences. You know what? I really would love a single-player campaign. I know that's maybe not Battlefield's strong point. Battlefield 1 had a great great single-player game and a great multiplayer. But the single-player, in my opinion, it wasn't sort of characters that you kind of kept seeing over and over again in that sense. It's not like a character you sort of got connected to, like maybe with Call of Duty, like they have Captain Price and stuff like that. And even with Battlefield 4, you kind of got connected to the characters in that, because it was the same characters you were with the entire game. And probably my most favourite single-player Battlefield out there would have to be Battlefield Bad Company 2. That game probably portrays the characters in the best light. They're actually talkative. They joke about things, They have comedy. I mean, if you stand there and just wait, they'll have a random conversation. It's incredible, and you know what? You kind of get connected to the characters in a way. And it's a shame that we really haven't seen anything like that. I know Battlefield 2042 doesn't have a single-player campaign. And I get it. They're not really invested into that. Maybe they just thought, okay, it's probably not it. Or maybe they just couldn't have the time or the money to invest into a campaign. Because I'm sure, again, it's quite a lot of money. You got to find the voice actors, you got to do all the motion and stuff like that, and then hope that people actually like it. Again, the single-player campaign to a lot of people is the introduction to the game, the controls and stuff like that, and how the game's going to feel. Without that, you're kind of going free running straight into. Now, a lot of people probably don't use that. I kind of do and not. It's kind of it's an experience. It's kind of like a little mini movie you see. I don't expect them to be hours and hours long. Most campaigns may end up being, 5 to so many hours long, and that's the best part about them is that they kind of tell a story and maybe give you a bit of insight for what's coming in the multiplayer side of things. And I hope to see, if we do, a really good single player. Maybe some characters that we've seen before, like Irish and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a real cool thing to see them actually, well, hopefully caring about a single player campaign. I say hopefully because, well, again, I don't really trust EA with Battlefield, in my opinion, after the absolute fuck up they did with Battlefield 2042. And as we all know, They haven't really recovered. Yeah, they recovered. Well, they did kind of recover, but I'd have to say that's mainly because they added a new map with Halloween. I was at Operation Redacted, which is actually a really fucking fun map, and I do enjoy that map to pieces. However, I wouldn't say the game's at the heights it would be. I think the max players it's reached. I think it did pass its max. I think it's like 120,000 maybe. I'd say normally Battlefield, if it was going for that, I'd say it should be in like, even now it should be pulling really crazy numbers. Again, a lot of people love large-scale warfare games, and, well, you can't really get a fix of that because there's not a lot of developers who actually do that sort of thing. That's why Battlefront goes crazy. That's why I enjoyed Battlefront 2, because EA did it, and they did a decent job. Yeah, they fucked it up at the beginning, but again, it's EA. I don't know what people actually expect from EA. As soon as people see the word EA on the box or anywhere near the game, I don't know why people are like, oh my god, I trust this company with everything. Instead, they should be saying, oh, I should be expecting a big fuck up here. But that's what they said. We are each immersive action-packed season with each action-packed season of Battlefield 2042. Players have made it clear that they wanted a deeper experience. Or maybe they just wanted more fucking content. Don't they thin out the map? I don't really keep up with 2042 as much anymore. I don't know, it's just not a game for me. They added this Battle Pass. Now, I get it. That's how games are moving forward, and it's quite clear Battlefield is going down the same or a very similar route to Call of Duty by adding the Battle Pass, and then they're going to be adding shitty skins to it. It's obviously inevitable. A lot of AAA games are going down that route. I know Rainbow Six Siege is going down that route. It looks like the Fortnite influence is taking over a lot of these games, which is kind of unfortunate, but it's kind of expected. A lot of these developers are like, this is probably the best way we're going to end up making profit. I know with the Battlefield Premium is, well, it's out of the window, it looks like. Even though I did prefer Battlefield Premium, while a lot of the content was, it was more brought in. I know with Battlefield 1, Premium is probably a big need in my opinion. Because without the premium, it's kind of like you basically get no content. The premium, it's kind of like they scrammed a lot of it in premium. And don't be wrong, I'd say 100% worth getting the premium. I'd wait for it to go on sale though, but it is a great deal getting the premium. You get a lot of maps, you get the premium skip and the premium server skip and stuff like that, which is great. The only problem with premiums is you're kind of singling out content, which means a lot of people won't probably get to experience the new maps because either they don't want to waste their money on premium or they just maybe can't afford it. So you're going to kind of lose a bit there. So you've got to try and keep and encourage them to come back and stay there and maybe buy premium down the line. But I guess the Battle Pass does work because you can have people reoccurring and paying for the whole Battle Pass and stuff like that and adding new skins and weapon skins and, weapons. I think there's weapons in there. Players have made it clear. Our teams have listened to the community and have learned valuable lessons. Holy shit, I hope you have. Again, after Battlefield 2042, I hope you've learned a very, very, very big, valuable fucking lesson, you idiots, because holy shit. If you haven't, then God knows how long Battlefield is going to survive for, because that franchise is going to collapse, unfortunately, if you don't listen to the community. I wish all developers and all big corporation fucks in the gaming space would just listen to the customers. Like, if a big customer outrage and people are saying this game is fucking shit, you need to do something about it. And EA, they tried to scoop up the mess with Battlefield 2042, but unfortunately, it was just too late. They launched that game in the worst state ever. In fact, I think it was, it's not far off from the beta. It feels like nothing really changed. Apparently, the beta was a few months old. compared to the game, and it looks like no, it fucking wasn't. It was probably, in fact, I'd say maybe just a bit worse than the beta, and the beta was horrendous. Holy shit, it was. So I hope EA have learned. I don't know what was going on with Battle. I know they released in 2021. Maybe they were still trying to recover from COVID or something. I have no idea what was going on with that game. It's clear I don't even think EA want to know what's going on. They've tried to support it to try and bring some money in of what they've probably lost, but holy shit, I don't think they're ever going to really talk about that game much, or as long as it's making them trying to recoup them back some money that they've lost, because they probably lost a shit ton on Battlefield 2042. I've learned valuable lessons and our driving to the future motive. Armed with cutting-edge Frostbite technology. That is something, again, that I love about Battlefield games, is the quality. Frostbite engine is fucking incredible when it comes to Battlefield games. Looking at Battlefield 1 especially, it really, really shined with that. The Frostbite engine, and I think they've overhauled it now and there's a better one and they've upgraded it, which, again, I really hope this shines through and it does an incredible piece, because holy shit, Battlefield 1 was, I'd say, is probably the best example of Frostbite and how crazy Frostbite is. Even it being an older version of Frostbite, wow. Even Battlefield 4, both of them games, holy shit, the quality. Now, yeah, Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 1, they're kind of showing their age now, but wow, are they incredible, down to every minute detail, the texture and the ambience of the maps and the ambience of the music and everything. You know, it all comes in hand and piece in piece and fits into that jigsaw perfect. You know, I think a lot of people, fix into that puzzle, sorry, but I think a lot of people come together and have started to realize, you know, Battlefield just isn't the same anymore. You know, you can't release a game broken and then say, oh, fuck, we messed up. Try to recoup it, you know, your investment or what money you've got left because you decided to fuck up something when, I don't know, man, I can't keep projecting this, man. I can't keep being pissed off. It's over and done with Battlefield 2042. Probably the first Battlefield I haven't really touched. A ripple effect. Joining Frostbite technology and compelling storytelling is joining DICE, a ripple effect to build a Battlefield universe across connected multiplayer and single-player experiences. This is the largest Battlefield team in franchise history. A few weeks ago, I was visiting the teams, and I couldn't be more excited. They showed me, and they were able to play. So you couldn't be more excited to play this, which is good. And he said something about being a live service game. What did he say as well? This is tremendous live service. Oh, I'm sure Battlefield 2042 was the exact same, wasn't it? Now, what is Battlefield like still now? Is it still upholding? And do I recommend you actually playing some of the old Battlefields? Yes, hell yes I do. I actually recommend you. And they're on sale. They go on sale quite frequently. I don't recommend you buying Battlefield 1 Premium unless it's on sale, because, well, when it goes on sale, you're gonna be feeling like you've been scammed. But going back to them older games, it really brings back a lot of memories. Yeah, to me anyway. When that game came out, it was fucking phenomenal. I don't even think EA realized how well of a game Battlefield actually was until it launched, and I think it's got well over 20 million people have bought that game. Which is when you look back at that, you're like, wow, probably one of the best-selling World War One games out there. And I don't even think EA were probably looking at it and be like, how the fuck are we going to sell a World War One game? There's no way anyone would be interested in buying a World War One first-person large-scale warfare shooter. And they were very wrong. They were they were very wrong. And I think that's probably one of the most viewed, and maybe the most viewed gaming trailers out there. Heck, one of the most viewed Battlefield trailers out there to begin with. You know, a lot of people were happy about it. And it was, again, it was released in a year where Call of Duty was having a rough patch. You know, they weren't really doing well. So they had that to offer as well. And they did incredible. They did absolutely splendid with Battlefield 1. Down to every little minute detail. The mud, the ambience, the music, like I've said. And I think a lot of people like that game because of how it portrays war. Gritty, dirty, not very nice, and it portrays World War One fucking incredible. Now, yes, some of the guns are very unbalanced in that game, and they did add some goofy games like the goofy guns, like the Calibri and various other guns, and like the Hellringle, which doesn't actually exist. Well, it only exists through 2 photos. So they tried to portray that gun in there. And there are a few other games that that either didn't make it to the war or they were just prototypes. But it's still cool to see them incorporate them type of things. And I understand they've got to try and balance it out. They've got to have some heavy machine guns and some light machine guns and stuff like that to balance stuff out because, well, if everyone was just running around with rifles, it would kind of be a little bit like crazy. I know I'm sure a lot of people would probably like that, but you know, some people don't really like just running around with a rifle. You know, some people like to have their control and have their guns, you know. And obviously, the best part about Battlefield is the classes. You have your assault class, you have your medic, and you have your support, and you have your scout, or it'd be, I think, just sniper regularly. These were the main roles, and you pick a role. Your assault class, well, this would more be tailored to, you know, the assault. You know, you are infantry, you can, you know, blow tanks up and stuff like that. You're more focused on killing people than anything else. Obviously, your medic class, which is, well, pretty self-explanatory. You know, you use that to help revive people and bring people back. Stuff like that. You have your support class. Now, the support class, again, pretty self-explanatory. You are supporting the team with ammo and stuff like that. You could equip mortars in Battlefield 1. And then you have the scout. Again, pretty self-explanatory. The scout class would be able to equip the sniper and, well, snipe people. And the same happens with Battlefield 4. You have your class setup. Now, I don't think they have that in Battlefield 1. I don't really know. That game is incredibly confusing. I don't understand the whole classes and stuff like that. It actually makes my head hurt looking at all that. I don't think they do. Battlefield 5, I think, yeah, they do. I haven't played that game since they stopped supporting it. Although I do enjoy it. I haven't. I've gone on it recently, about a year ago, something like that. But I haven't played it in a while. And I did enjoy that game. I know it had a rocky launch with people being invisible, running behind you and stuff like that. And there was a lot of lag and latency issues that people didn't like. However, they seemed to sort them. And again, like I said, they brought the Pacific Theater to the game. And that was probably my favorite part about it. And again, Battlefield has been building this franchise up, and I like it. We have Battlefield 3, another fucking classic game. You know, it brings back to memories playing an older Battlefield. Because back then, people were more bothered about just enjoying themselves and creating their own stories through multiplayer. You know, and I'm glad that people are able to enjoy that shit. You know, unfortunately, these days, well, again, Battlefield is more... It's just, I don't know, it just doesn't fit really weird. I mean, it is the first Battlefield out there that is cross-play with all platforms playing on one, you know, thing, which is pretty cool to see. And I think this is the first Battlefield 2042, to feature 128 players in a game, which is a lot of players. Normally it's 64 players in a whole match, 32 on either side. Obviously, this is 64 and 64, which pretty action-packed games. I'm not gonna lie. That I will give that one prop to Battlefield 2042, the games are fucking mental with that many amount of players. Although I do feel like the maps in Battlefield 2042 are just too big for how they are. You need a vehicle, and again, a lot of people would end up using vehicles, preferably tanks, and it would get to a point where it would actually be pointless playing the game because people would just end up running you over with a vehicle, or it just take you years and years and years just to get to an objective to capture it. So in the end, a lot of people, well, kind of left back and didn't bother playing it as much. But I really hope Battlefield's future, I really hope, again, EA doesn't fuck it up, because again, it's EA and they like to fuck things up really for absolutely no reason at all, which is really annoying to say the least. But I really do hope they get down and they don't mess with this game, and I really hope it's a banger of a game, because I see a lot of potential in another Battlefield game, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people would actually enjoy another Battlefield game, as long as it's not messed about and it's genuinely a lot of heart and soul has gone into it, and they don't fuck around by adding shit, and they keep it updated with some good content, because again, Battlefield 2042 just feels very dry and stale. They've added very little maps. I think they had a map every now and again, and it's a bit like, really? See, most of the time you end up playing the same old bullshit for months and months on end, trying to wait for them. Now, I get it. It's free maps. It's free content, and I appreciate that, But at the end of it's kind of like, come on, man, I just want some more fucking content, If we're doing this, I guess I'd rather go back to the days of Battlefield Premium, which I know a lot of people didn't really like, but personally I did, because, well, I guess it kind of put you on the spot in a way. I don't know. I just like Battlefield Premium. I think they brought decent content out with it. But I guess ever since Battlefield 1's come out, it seems like they've had the Battlefield 1 curse, and every game after Battlefield 1 just that hasn't really performed incredible. Although the Battlefield 5 beta wasn't actually bad, unlike the Battlefield 2042 beta, but man, I really hope. I'm guessing this. I don't really know when they're going to be launching this. Are they going to? I think maybe 2025, maybe at a push. I'm not too sure, or maybe 2026. Again, they didn't really specify any date in the earnings call thing, so I'm personally going to guess maybe end of 2025, maybe 2026. I mean, they like to do what Call of Duty do by pushing it to slightly at the end of the year with a lot of Battlefields. So I guess they're going to do, if it's going to be 2025, it definitely isn't this year as far as I know anyway. But if they're going to go 2025, yeah, they probably might push it back till like maybe October, November, around about then. I mean, again, GTA 6 is rumoured to be coming 2025, so hopefully that doesn't conflict with Battlefield too much and people can still enjoy this game. But wow, I really do hope this game is enough to please people, and I really hope the beta isn't just some fuck up, and I genuinely hope they take some feedback from that and be like, okay, let's fix this, which is hard to say, but I know a lot, again, like I keep saying, but betas aren't really used what they should be used for. They're more used as a marketing pump now than actually caring and listening to the community. Not all the time. There are some developers out there who actually listen and use betas to help their game and help players understand more about what's going on in this and that. But I really hope the next Battlefield just shows people up and really does incredible, and is not a colossal fuck up like Battlefield 2042. We can only hope.